out the way, idiot. Here we are on the way to a live WWE show in a very snowy New York. We're going backstage to interview some of the biggest names in WWE. For more videos just like this one, subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking my sexy hand. Click here. Brie and Nikki, lovely to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time to come and chat with me tonight.
Of course. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. I've come for you guys, obviously.
Yes. Thank you.
Smart man.
Here we are on the road to WrestleMania 31. Pretty exciting time to be a fan and also a WWE superstar and diva, I imagine.
Oh, yes.
What's the backstage feeling in the build up to WrestleMania? I imagine it's quite a crazy time.
Chaos.
Yeah. I have to say, you know, backstage, it's always fun when it's the road to WrestleMania because storylines get a little bit more amped up. We get a lot of old schoolers that come back. We get a lot of special guests. So the road to WrestleMania is so much fun. So I feel like as talent, we're always excited to come to TVs every week. We have this different kind of energy.
It's
almost
true.
like as if we're arriving at like Disney World and we're like, yes, you know, we're in like Candyland. And I also have to say there's a lot of nerves going on because you want a spot at Mania. So it's like, you got to get your body in check, your face in check, but most importantly, what you do in the ring in check.
Yes.
And so it gets very competitive backstage.
And how do you get your face in check? Exactly.
I've been getting peels every other week, and I switch face products to make sure that I'm glowing like J-Lo.
Oh,
Awesome.
Nikki.
Now take us back to the start, if you don't mind. How did you get involved in WWE? 'Cause is it fair to say that soccer was actually a passion for you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Rather than
big
wrestling?
passion.
It's crazy because Nikki and I, we were soccer players growing up, or football, I should say, right?
Football, yeah. Football, yeah.
Or football.
Football.
I mean,
Oh,
said
football.
in Spanish. I'm like, what are you, elf football? It's okay.
Football.
All right.
I gotta say it how you guys do. And but I think, you know, the biggest thing is when Nikki and I were in our, well, actually it was me, the minute I saw Divas on TV, I was thinking like, oh my gosh, that's our calling. You know, we were athletes growing up, we like to be rough and tough, but at the same time, entertainment was something we always loved.
Yes.
When we were really young, I'll never forget, actually you'll appreciate this, we would dress up like the Spice Girls.
Are you
and
serious?
put on these lip sync performances for all my
we
parents'
loved
friends.
the Spice Girls.
Like Mike Tyson would have a big boxing match, and they'd have the pay-per-view at our house.
So
and
what was
then,
it? So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I want it. But like we'd do like
Oh,
these
God.
like really embarrassing, cheesy performances, and then during the summer times it'd be so hot in Arizona, so her and I would be inside like after soccer practice, and we would lip sync for each other to like Aerosmith, AC/DC. So the fact that
Queen,
WWE divas,
everyone.
it was like the athletics mixed with entertainment. We just know, hey, it's our calling. We found out about Diva Search, and we went there. And the best thing ever is we showed up in like these workout outfits. And I had the shirt on that said Breezy Fashizi.
Nicole for show.
And we walked in, we had bandanas in our hair, and it looked like it was like a go-go dancing scene. We were like, is this where you're supposed to
did
wrestle?
not think we were at the right spot.
And they're like, yeah, they're like, no, this is Diva Search. And we were like looking around like, oh my gosh. Like, we look like we're ready to like kick butt in a ring, and
Yeah.
everyone looks like they're like ready to walk the catwalk.
Yeah.
So it was funny, but you know what? We didn't do, like, Diva Search wasn't about twins. So instead they asked us like, okay, well, first you have to, you know, get in the ring and see if something you really want. So we flew to McDonough, Georgia, fell in love, packed up our cars in California, and drove all the way to Tampa, Florida.
Wow. And so were you fans of WWE growing up? Had you kind of experienced it on TV?
Well,
No.
you know, with Brie and I's age, it was the Attitude Era. So
Okay.
in our household, we couldn't even watch 90210.
Wow.
So there
Yes.
was no wrestling allowed in our house. I mean, we were lucky with Saved by the Bell. Like,
Yeah,
that
right.
was lucky.
But also, too, you
Great
know,
show.
we played...
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we played club soccer. So
Yeah.
Nikki and I were traveling the United States at a very young age. You started club, what, 5th grade?
Fourth grade.
Or 4th grade. I joined her in 5th grade. And from then on, we traveled all year round. And then we got a month off, what, July? July was like our month off. So, and what everyone like never realizes about us is we were farm girls. So between having to feed the cows, the horses, lambs, goats, you know, early in the morning, right after school, then we had soccer practice. So TV never existed.
It
Yeah.
really didn't.
Just go back to Spice Girls quickly. Who was your favourite Spice Girl?
Well, I loved Victoria.
I loved Sporty
Posh.
Spice.
I mean, Posh Spice.
Yeah.
Posh Spice, yeah.
Because my hair was like hers.
Okay.
Crazy.
And I liked Sporty Spice because, athletic, and I felt like we connected on that.
I was a Sporty Spice fan.
Were you?
Weirdly enough, yeah.
I remember I was like, I loved how she had the wife beaters with the, what are they, the Adidas pants?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool.
Awesome. Now with WWE with Total Divas rather on E, it feels like you guys have created a amazing Bella Twins brand.
Yeah.
Is that something you're kind of very aware of when it comes to the wider entertainment world? Are you kind of easily distracted by the wider entertainment world, or are you kind of sports entertainers through and through?
Well, you know what I think it is when you want to be successful in any business you're in, you have to have a business mind. And, we've gone in there thinking about our brand. And I think the best thing about Total Divas is we're like, who are we as people? Because when you're able to showcase your passions, it just comes easy. And that was the nice thing about Total Divas, it's reality. So the first time people got to see whoa, Brie's a hippie, she's so granola. And I was able to rebrand
Nikki
that,
loves the finer things in life.
Yeah, designer names, all designer names.
I think it was neat because it was the first time you got to see the Bella twins as individuals, not just as identical twins.
Yeah.
And not only how different we are, but how we are alike in many ways. And I think too, here at WWE, you never really get to know the person, the character. So we're actually really good girls in life.
Oh my
so
God. We're
people
so
just
sweet.
connected with us. And it was neat to share that with everyone and our relationships because, we date two very amazing guys here.
That's right.
Or one's married. But what was neat is that mainstream connected.
Yeah.
And so that helped us build our brand to a level, we never thought. Well, we always wanted it to get to, but we never realized how quickly it could. And I also think, fitness is in right now and people's hashtag fitness goals and hashtag fitness inspirations. And luckily, we kick butt in the ring, so I think that was even more of a connection for women who didn't know wrestling.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I want to look like these girls.
Totally, and I think branding, the biggest thing about it, helps you always stay on the right path. You never lose your way because you always know in your head who you are and the direction you want to go in. So it makes the crazy entertainment world just that much easier.
So before you got to the crazy entertainment world, you're on the farm as girls.
Yes.
What can you tell us about your life growing up in Arizona? Were you very close always?
Oh, yeah.
Who was the most trouble for mum and dad?
Well,
I'm guessing Nikki.
Nikki, actually, who was the most trouble?
It depends.
It was pretty equal.
It was kind of equal.
It has always been double trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, it has been
I
double
can imagine.
trouble. I was definitely more sassy and
Oh yeah.
when I was in middle school, if a high schooler walked by me and wanted to say something, I stuck up for myself, and people were like, "The girl's
Dang.
5. Why is she talking to them?" So I was always very sassy and not scared of anything growing up. I was fearless. I was very fearless.
Well, and I think
But
too, we always
She was the keg killer.
Hi, Mom. But we always would fight. That was the one thing my parents were just like, holy crap, what kind of girls? Because we would literally start
You're very
wrestling each
physical.
other.
Oh,
We were
physically fight.
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
Very.
But then we'd laugh 5 minutes later. It
Yeah.
was really sick and weird. But my parents knew they could never get involved, but we were always just aggressive girls growing up, but just had big hearts. So
Is that your nicknames? Sick and weird?
yeah.
Yeah.
She's weird.
Parents
I'm
sick,
sick, as
weird.
in super sick and super
Okay.
cool.
Super cool.
And weird's really in right now.
Oh, totally good.
Yeah.
Brie, let's talk about Daniel, if you don't mind. Very topsy-turvy year for him after WrestleMania last year.
Yes.
Obviously, he had his injury and he unfortunately lost his dad. How did he find it when you were still on the road with WWE? Was that a tough time?
It actually was a really tough time. And I think the hardest thing for both myself and Daniel is we were at the highest point I think you could ever get in your life. Bryan main eventing WrestleMania, his childhood dream, and then getting married a week later. And when we came back, and gosh, it was 2 days after our honeymoon, and to have a tragic accident with his father, it was you get the lowest of the low. And then, gosh, it was about 2 weeks later, all of a sudden he lost complete feeling in his hand and his arm, and they found out he needed emergency neck surgery. And so for myself having to continue on when it's I need to be by my husband's side, it was heart-wrenching. But Daniel Bryan is the strongest human being mentally. And he just kept telling me no, you need to go to work, you need to do all this. And it was hard on me, but I've seen his strength through all that. I knew it'd be okay. But I tell you what, I have the most amazing husband in the whole world, which everyone knows. I mean, that's why they chant yes constantly, because it's something the authority doesn't know, but yet all of WWE Universe does.
Yeah.
So, and you know, too, it just made us realize what's really important in life. And like every day, we're so lucky to be here, and you have to be so grateful. Like, we travel the world. We have all these amazing fans, so there's so much to be grateful for.
And so he was really encouraging you to sort of get back on the road, and because I guess you have to, don't you? It's, it's your job.
Well, you know, everyone always is like, you've gotten so much better in the past years. Like, you know, my career's grown so much, I've evolved so much, and it's because of him. You know, he takes so much time, and he knows how important wrestling is to me and how much I love it. So he's my cheerleader as much as I'm his.
I'd like to see Daniel Bryan in a cheerleader's outfit.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
He's literally the nicest man in the world, though, isn't he, Daniel? Yeah.
He's so
completely
humble. You know, I think that's what fans realize about him is like, Bryan doesn't have to say a lot. When you see him stand in a ring, you look into his eyes and you're like, whoa, that dude's like really sweet and humble. Like, you feel it.
He's
an
gonna be
old
like
soul.
Santa Claus
He's very
when
an
he's
old soul.
older, you know?
Yeah.
Right? When he gets all white and gray, he's gonna run as Santa Claus. His cherry lips and blue eyes.
He does have cherry lips. Like, so pink and cute.
Nikki, let's talk about the boy in your life.
Oh yeah.
John Cena.
The big boy.
The big boy, okay. He seems to be going through a transition phase in WWE. He referred to himself as an old man in a recent promo.
Yeah.
Do you think that's premature? What are your opinions on his current state?
I think, anytime I think you're in a career for a long time and you're starting to feel older and there's new ones coming in, you may feel like an old man, but to me, John is showing like he's performing younger than ever. I mean, his body looks incredible, the way he moves in the ring. And let me tell you, because we live together, he never stops. Like, if he is not in the gym, he's flying somewhere for a meeting, he's doing something that makes him better in the ring, like he's studying Chinese, like he literally speaks Chinese now and it's crazy.
Oh yeah, how's he getting on with that? I heard he was doing that.
He's doing amazing.
It's so weird to see.
I mean, he speaks Mandarin.
Like, he'll start talking and I'm looking at him like, I don't know. It doesn't
Like,
seem right.
sleeping just never really fits into his schedule.
So you're saying he's Superman.
He literally is Superman.
Yeah.
But he's such an inspiration to me because I'm just like, how does this guy do it? He never stops.
Right.
But I feel like he's so healthy and like so strong. And when I see him in the ring, like, old man, I see a younger man. Like, I see someone as the years go on, he's getting better and better.
It must be funny because he's obviously a veteran of the game now.
Right.
It must be funny for him to see so many young people coming up from NXT now.
Totally. And I think that's why you get the old man comments because everyone coming in is like 18 to like 28.
Yeah.
I mean, even for me being 31 with some of the new divas, I know I said it, but like even with Paige, who's 21, right?
No, she's like 22, 3, whatever.
But still,
it's like,
so it is
when you're that
tough.
much older.
Like, Brie and I have been here for 8 years. John's been here for 13. It is weird when, like, you have people like Brock, who he did developmental with, who comes back just for storylines.
Of course.
And you're like, wait.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, one of the old guys is back. No, I went to that developmental with that guy. So I think that definitely is hard and weird, but show must go on.
Absolutely. And what do you girls think of the NXT brand and all the young people coming through? It's very, very young roster. It's an incredibly talented roster now.
Oh,
Best
definitely.
roster that you guys have had in years, I would say. And with regards to the divas, I know you've made some comments about being quite envious of how much TV time they get down in Full Sail, and the hashtag Give Divas a Chance. What are your thoughts on this whole subject?
Well, you know, for me, it's like, you know, NXT, we're lucky that's our developmental program. I mean, it is such a beautiful facility.
It's
and
amazing.
It is so amazing.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the coaches they even have down there. And, you know, the time that they put into that facility is the time they're going to give the talent. That's how much they care. And, you know, we missed the boat on it, but we're happy that that's our talent. That's the future. And, yeah, we're very envious that the divas down there have 20 minutes to tell a story, you know, compared to TV, 3 minutes. Not saying that when they come up, it's going to change because it's hard. You're beating commercials. Like, we're on USA Network. You know, down there, they're on their own time.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and I just, you know, I have to say, like, our future's in good hands. And the whole Give Divas a Chance, like, it's nice that the fans, you know, recognize things. But, you know, reading some of it, I'm like, whoa, there's so much hate that I feel like the divas have been given a lot. Like, granted, we want to have main event stories. Like, we want to be part of that. We want our matches to be longer. But at times I feel like I need to sit back and like look and be like, you know what, there's a lot of people in America who don't have jobs. Like,
Yeah.
I have a job that, yeah, you don't get to see us wrestle Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, but we have really long matches there. And I've been able to travel the world, and I've done things my friends have never dreamed that they could ever do. So, but I definitely have to say it's nice to see the girl power and all the women stand up for us.
It's great when the fans come together and they want to give divas hope. Well, and I think I saw something recently where I liked it, like, stop chanting certain things during divas matches and being disrespectful. So one minute you have all the fans that want to be for us, and then you have some fans that want to disrespect us. So I really did love the hashtag Give Divas a Chance. And I have to say, you know, I agree with Brie with some things, like it could always be worse, right? I'm living my dream. I love what I'm doing. I want that 60-second match to be 60 minutes. Well, I don't know if I could
you go 60
minutes?
minutes?
I would do it, but like, you know, Paige and I had a 2-segment match on main event, and we did really good, and we had so much fun. So I wish we could have, out of a 3-hour Raw, I wish we could have 2 segs and something backstage, and I wish there could be more, like maybe 2 stories going on with the Divas. So here's the Divas Championship storyline, and then another Divas storyline, so the other girls can work, because there isn't that many of us. But I do wish that all the girls could work every TV. I wish that. And when you do look at NXT, I'm so happy those girls get all that time. And I'll be so excited when they come up here, because they'll make it really exciting, because people will know them. But you do get envious. You're like, oh, damn, I wish I could have a 20-minute pay-per-view match and not win a championship in 30 seconds like I had to, unfortunately. But so I thought that was all really cool, and I couldn't believe how long it trended for.
Yeah,
I was like,
for days.
heck yeah. Like, I mean, what was that, 2 days straight?
Yeah.
It made me smile very big to get all the love and support. I was beyond grateful for that, but I'm also beyond grateful for my job and for just getting, even when it's 4 minutes on TV, I'm grateful.
Well, there's so much love for you girls around the world, and there's a lot of talk about how much you've both improved in the ring.
Yeah.
Do you really feel that you've kind of progressed over the last year?
Completely. I mean, just how more comfortable I feel in the ring. Like, you know, you always want to go out there and do the best you can do. And like when you're in the learning stages, unfortunately, Nicole and I, like when we started with WWE, we were in developmental a little over the year, but when we debuted, even like 15 months of training, it doesn't make you like great. So it was like, we've done so much learning on television.
Yeah.
And I just am so grateful for my husband, because Bryan has literally taken me, we've been together, gosh, a little over 4 years, and has taken me into his arms and just like, he has just coached me every step of the way. And like, it's funny because people are like, don't you guys get in fights? I'm like, no, I have like the best ever wrestler, like telling me like what I need to improve on and change. And like, I couldn't be more fortunate for that, so.
Yeah, and you know, for me, definitely, I have improved so much over the years. And, you know, not only have I improved a lot because of John has given me such great advice, has taught me so much about the business, has taught me about the strength that I truly had inside of me, and has helped me get stronger and take that strength into the ring. And I think, you know, my learning when I look back at my career the past 8 years is when Brie and I turned heels, went bad, you know, we thought that was like, just put your baby face over and don't look good. And when I look back at that, I was like, oh, I would never do anything that I learned when I was in developmental for 15 months. Because I thought, like, don't overshine your baby face. And now as a heel, it's like, no, you could be powerful, but it's, what does your character do?
Yeah.
That makes it bad. And that's what I was missing those years, was just bump and cheat, and that's it. Like, And we missed out on, I wish I could redo all that, but I can't. So I think just learning all that and learning my psychology better, it's made me improve 1,000 times. Because the strength was there and the moves were there. It was, how do I incorporate it all together and tell the audience the best story I can?
So much to learn, isn't there?
So much.
Fascinating.
Because then you have all these different camera angles too. You need to know on top of that, and then you have a ref telling you time, and then things change. And,
every
and then
day
when it's live
learning.
TV, oh my gosh.
Yeah. But that's a fun part of wrestling, is like that creative side. Like, we'll be in cars and like we'll be like, oh my gosh, like tomorrow we need to do this and that, and then we'll think, we're like, will it work? Will it not? But that is what's so amazing about wrestling, is that you can be like professional wrestling.
Totally. I mean, recently I have a slight tear in my hamstring, and it was Natty and I were wrestling on a live event. It's happened about, I think, 8 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago. That's why you haven't seen me wrestle as much on TV as you usually do, because we've been trying to protect it. But Natty, like literally we're about to get into the comeback and it just loud pop. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just did something to my hamstring. But I'm like, I could keep going. And when I went to put her up in the rack, I collapsed. And she and I, just both being experienced, were able to call a different finish on the fly. The title was on the line and I could not lose. So we needed to figure something out. But the audience would have not known at all. It's what we knew, what people backstage knew. But that's like the learning part. And when you're getting better, like, we were able, like, Brie was like, oh, did you guys switch it? And I was like, no, we did that on the fly. Like, I literally just tore my hamstring.
That's only going to come with experience, isn't it?
Right,
Of being in front of those crowds.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, everyone must get frustrated with their partners at some point. If you guys could swap,
Really?
I'm talking husbands, boyfriends
Oh,
now.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
those
immediately
partners, the
think
other
like tag partners.
Yeah. So your real life male tag partners, if you could swap a personality trait of each.
Ooh.
So
I know mine.
Nikki, you take one of Daniel's personality traits, and Brie, you take one of John's. What would you swap around? And does that
first
question
or
make
me?
any sense?
It does.
Okay,
You
good.
go first.
I would swap for Bryan's ideas of marriage and kids.
Oh, that's a good one.
So that John would want what Bryan wants for marriage, for a wife and kids.
Okay.
And
That's what I
then
would switch.
for me, John is an amazing multitasker. And
yeah.
and like my husband is the worst. Like I'm honestly like, can you make that phone call? He's like, no, I'm making eggs. I'm like, yeah, but like you just on the phone you can go like this. And he's like, no, that's stressful. And I'm like, damn, okay. So like I understand Bryan can only do one task at a time.
Classic man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like John, I'll see him when I'm at her house and I almost am exhausted like watching him. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like he gets so much done in 1 hour. So I kind of wish Bryan had that.
Classic Superman.
Classic.
There
He
you
is
go.
classic Superman.
Yeah.
I have the lumberjack. She has Superman.
If only Superman was a husband. I'm just kidding.
I know. Oh, did he ever get married?
I don't think so. Lois and Clark.
Nikki.
I don't know, maybe.
WrestleMania 31, it's on the horizon. For people who have never watched the WrestleMania and are thinking about watching it, how would you describe the event from a kind of, because it's a very sort of, it's a huge event, it's a very emotional event for a lot of you guys. How would you describe it to fans?
I would describe it like, like a Super Bowl and, or like the playoffs or like the NBA finals or anything that's just, it's at the end of a season, but it's like the biggest stage in that company or the industries like life, the Oscars, any of them. And it's where everyone who's a part of it comes to put their whole entire emotions, heart, their physical ability, everything into that one night. And like any of those big events, you have people you don't even realize all of a sudden show up on stage and there's so many surprises. And I'd kind of say it's like that.
Yeah, and what's even different, it's definitely like a Super Bowl, but for our industry and for any industry, it's that one big event where people travel all over the world for just a 4-hour show, for 4 days of meeting, their favorite divas and superstars and interacting with fans from all over the world. And it's like going to Epcot at Disney World, where you travel around the world, but throw in WrestleMania in the middle, and there you go.
What a weird comparison.
But for people who don't know, like you literally
Yeah,
show up
true.
to places and you have people from Germany and you have people from Japan and you have people from Canada and from France, and then you have Americans that traveled from New York City all the way to San Francisco.
It's true.
I don't think you get that anywhere else, where you have like what
a melting
people,
pot.
a melting pot, but where everyone likes the same thing.
And does that add a lot of pressure knowing
World
that people have literally travelled the world to see it?
You have no
definitely.
idea.
Is it really just like the
wanna
biggest night?
It is the
biggest
night.
I
Like,
mean, we're in a stadium. So even, we're all used to arenas, so even for talent, we're at an amazing football stadium. So when we're walking around backstage, they usually have carts to take us to like all the way to catering from where we're at because it's like a mile away. So already that feeling alone, we're like, well, we feel like badasses.
Yeah.
We're like, this is cool. This is like what Guns N' Roses felt back in the day when they came out of concert.
for sure.
Or the Spice Girls?
Or the
Or the
Spice Girls, yeah.
There you go.
And it's, you're in a hotel that the company treats you at a very nice hotel for a week. So there you already feel different. And you have everyone's family there. And it's like we're doing the fan access. So we're meeting them people from all over the world. And then you're meeting all these celebrities, media outlets. So even for us, it's like, wow. And then we have Hall of Fame. And at least for the girls, it's like our prom. So we get to wear like fancy dresses and we get our hair and makeup done. So it's totally like a huge event for all of us. I mean, we're all already in the locker room talking about our outfits and like colors and who's wearing what. So
Really?
yeah, we get fired up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
so
And
fun.
just very quickly, as a fellow Brit, I'm incredibly pleased to see Paige and her success.
Yes.
You've obviously got a bit of a program going on with her at the moment. What do you think of our Paige?
She
Honestly, I mean, we love Paige. Like, you know, like we love being a part of this storyline. She's an amazing worker and so nice. And her aggression she brings to the ring is like the exact aggression Nikki and I like. So it's so nice to work with someone like that. And I mean, if you've seen from Total Divas, like we get along great and we have a lot of fun. Even though I have to say I outdrank the Brit. But
do you?
Yep. If you,
Brie
you guys are a
mode.
couple seasons back.
Yeah, Brie, don't give it away.
Sorry.
That's something to look forward to.
but-
Yeah,
That's a great
right?
trailer.
But, you know, I have to say, you guys produced a very well athlete and also WWE diva. So we're so happy to have her.
Yeah, she's definitely someone who has the total package. And I've really enjoyed her storyline, even though I feel bad at times because it's like, I don't want to make fun of the color of her skin. Like, I'm brown, she's pale, who gives a shit? But, or I mean, who gives a crap? But, so in those moments, it makes me feel really bad because I'm like, come on. You guys are lighter over there. It's fine.
We have the sun.
Yes, I am.
California.
But you know what I love is like I like when you could look at a roster and you're like, okay, those are the girly girls and that's the gothic girl and that's this. And Paige just came right in and she fits perfectly on the roster.
Yeah.
She's a total package. She's great in the ring. She's beautiful. She can talk.
Yep.
She's hilarious. And it's so I've really enjoyed her storyline. It's when you can create magic and when you have fun, it makes it just that much more better.
And
So now, as Nikki Bella would say, I hate her.
Yeah.
I want to stick it to her at WrestleMania 31.
Loser.
And will you? Can we expect some Paige Bella action at Mania?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully there might be this Hall of Famer right here. Maybe. Who knows?
Right, girls, lovely to see you. Thanks so much for spending the
you.
time with me.
Okay, thank you.
1, 2,